All right, let's dive right in. If you're a manufacturer of Class B in vitro diagnostic devices, you already know the new IVDR is, well, it's a lot. Today, we're going to break down this super complex certification process into a guide you can actually use.
You know, this quote right here, it comes directly from a manufacturer, and it just perfectly captures that feeling of being completely overwhelmed. I mean, for anyone trying to get hundreds of devices into compliance, it can feel like a totally impossible, almost laughable task.
So, if that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to cut through all that noise and complexity and give you a really clear, actionable guide to the whole certification process.
Look, the new IVDR is an absolute game changer. It's a massive shift from the old system, especially for you makers of Class B devices who, used to be able to just self-declare your products. Those days of simple self-certification, they're long gone.
Okay, so what exactly are we talking about when we say a Class B device? Before we jump into all the requirements, let's just make sure we have a really clear definition down.
So here it is. Class B devices are the ones that carry a moderate risk. Think about those common lab tests, right? Like tests for glucose or cholesterol or even certain self-tests. They're not for super critical conditions, but they still give us really vital health information. And it's so important to understand their role in all this. These aren't some niche products we're talking about. They are the absolute workhorses of diagnostic labs and hospitals. They're behind countless key clinical decisions every single day. And that is exactly why there's such a huge focus under the new IVDR.
All right, so we know what they are, we know why they matter. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's map out the key steps you need to take to get these devices certified under the new rules.
So here's the most crucial point. Everything, and I really mean everything, hinges on your technical documentation. This is so much more than just paperwork. It's the complete story of your device, including these really comprehensive performance evaluation reports that prove it is safe and effective. So once your documentation is totally solid, you submit it to a notified body. Now, what's really interesting here is that they don't review every single file for every single device. Instead, they'll assess one representative device from each category. Their goal is to verify that all the devices in that group meet the same high standards. Now, this whole process is happening against a ticking clock, especially for devices that were already on the market under the old rules. And this is where things get really, really urgent. To really get the urgency, just look at this comparison. Under the old system, the IVDR, most Class B devices could just be self-declared. It was a way simpler process. But under the new IVDR, notified body involvement is mandatory, which brings a whole new level of scrutiny and a mountain of documentation. And here they are, the hard deadlines you absolutely cannot miss. To even be eligible, your declaration of conformity had to be done by May 2022. By May 2025, you have to upgrade your quality management system. The application itself, that's got to be lodged with a notified body by May 2027, with a formal agreement signed by September of that year. And the final cutoff for these devices to stay on the market is the end of 2029. If you miss these dates, that's it. Your product can no longer be legally sold in the EU. Okay, let's say you did it. You navigated the roadmap, you hit the deadlines, and you earned your certification. That's amazing. But the journey, it doesn't just stop there. So, after all that work, what is the single most important number you need to remember after you're certified?
This one, 5. It stands for the 5-year certification cycle. See, IVDR compliance isn't a one-and-done thing. It is a continuous process. It requires constant vigilance, post-market surveillance, and regular updates to your tech files just to maintain your certification for the long haul.
And all of this brings us to the really big question. How can manufacturers with these huge portfolios realistically manage this massive, ongoing workload? It's a very real problem, right? I mean, if you're making hundreds of Class B devices, the sheer volume of technical documentation and all the upkeep can seem completely insurmountable for a single in-house team. So you've essentially got two main paths forward. One, you can invest a ton into building a large, powerful in-house team. That gives you total control and builds long-term expertise inside your company. Or two, you can partner up with third-party consultants who can offer immediate bandwidth and specialized know-how, which can be a whole lot faster and more flexible, especially when you're facing a tight deadline. Let's just end on this.
that 2027 application deadline. It feels like it's a long way off, but it is coming up so much faster than you think. The time to build your team, find your partners, and get your documentation finalized is right now. So the only question left is your plan in place?